What qualification do you need to become a recruitment consultant? And do you actually need any? That's a question that I often have, and it's nice because it shows interest to the industry, and I really believe that it is the right place to be because the talent shortage is increasing in many industries, which means more work for staffing agencies, and also because it offers great career and business opportunities. But there are some misconceptions that need to be demystified. If you want to be able to answer the question, what qualifications do you need to become a recruitment consultant? And trust me, you may be surprised. For example, if you're not part of the industry, you could expect that many recruitment consultants would have an HR background or an HR degree, but that is absolutely not the case. And I'm not a good example here because I do, but I was clearly in a minority. And why so? Because it is a sales job. And when you have an HR background or an HR degree, and if you are interested in recruitment, it would be for an internal recruitment role. And that's completely different. You want to be involved in the employer branding strategy. You want to write and post ads. You want to screen and interview the applicants, but you don't want to spend your days cold calling prospects or candidates. But then, which degree do recruitment consultants usually have? To answer this question, there are two things important to be mentioned here. And the first one is something that I really like about the recruitment industry. They are not afraid to give juniors their chance. And they hire a lot of school leavers. They train them and they support them. So it is a good thing to know, especially if you are in that situation. The second important thing to know is if recruitment consultants usually graduated, their background and what they studied will vary a lot from business management to political science and even philosophy. And there are three reasons to explain that. The first one is there is no school really and concretely preparing you for a sales job anyway. And as a consequence, staffing agencies will provide the necessary training for you to acquire the skills to do the job. And that's why they can afford to hire for attitude and train for skills. However, it goes without saying that the more you are able to demonstrate that your background is likely to help you in the job, the better. For example, if you studied marketing or business management, it is quite easy to understand how it could be useful. Same goes if you studied communication or psychology. But if you studied art history or philosophy, it is maybe less obvious, but still it is absolutely not a blocking point. Your attitude and soft skills will always prevail. But if there is no school preparing you for the job anyway, if staffing agencies provide the necessary training for you to do the job, if recruitment agencies hire for attitude and are not afraid to invest in juniors and people with no experience, and the question is, do you actually need any degree to become a recruitment consultant? Well, a degree, and especially in a context where you are not hesitant to hire people with no experience, will be appreciated because it helps to demonstrate some of the skills that you need to become a recruitment consultant, such as the resilience, being coachable, handling pressure, facing adversity, being a self-starter, it shows ambition, etc. But honestly, that's the only reason. And this is why even if your degree could help for the reasons just mentioned, it is absolutely not a must-have. The truth is that the staffing industry not only is very keen to hire juniors, but also quite open to hire people with no degree, with non-linear path, or with different backgrounds. And that's another thing that I really like about the recruitment industry. And that can be explained by the following reason. The meritocracy is in the industry DNA. In the traditional staffing agency model, only your performance and achievements will matter. Your degree or credential won't be of any help for you to grow, and it is not rare to find directors or high-level managers with no degree. So if you have the soft skills, if you have the attitude, if you have an appetite for a sales job, the only barrier that I see would be the language barrier. So if it's not your mother tongue, of course, speaking English is a must. And why? Because both on the client and candidate side, it will happen that they don't speak the local language. And it is especially true if you are working in niche markets where speaking English is sufficient to do the job. So to answer the question, what qualifications do you need to become a recruitment consultant? Number one, you don't need any experience, but any sales experience will be appreciated. Number two, any degree would potentially do the job, but the more you are able to demonstrate that it is going to help you as a recruitment consultant, the better. And number three, yes, a degree is a plus, but it is not a must-have neither. So even if you only graduated high school, you can become a recruitment consultant. But in this situation then, having a first sales experience will be highly appreciated. And it doesn't need to be anything fancy. It could be working for a few months in a call center, for example. It is just about showing that you know what it takes to do a sales job. Because to get into the recruitment industry, the most important is your ability to demonstrate that you have the soft skills and the attitude to do the job, using anything from your professional or personal life to show that you are coachable, to show that you are resilient, to show that you are ambitious, to show that you can handle pressure, and that will prevail on any degree. And also, you should know that staffing agencies are constantly hiring and struggling to find good people. So if you have any interest for this industry, do not think twice and apply. And by the way, I'm currently working on a video where I will be sharing my best tips to get your first recruitment job, whatever your background is. So make sure to subscribe so you do not miss it. And if you ever considered becoming a recruitment consultant and you want to know what it's like and you want to have a good start, watch this video next.